Thank you very much for sharing this book. Thank you for listening. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for stopping by and listen. And I'm going to start reading this time from chapter 4. And I'm going to be starting at a point where Maggie has been in a hotel room with a young man who's kind of a struggling preacher. And he sees Maggie, who is, at this point in time in the book, is a famous poet, but she's a drug-addicted poet. And she's very well known and famous, and he had met her about 3 years ago at a college campus before she became famous. And so now he sees her, he's seen her on the street in this decadent, very heartbreaking situation. He grabs her, takes her into a hotel room, fasts and prays for her 7 days, and on the 7th day she's made whole. Now, so this is the 7th day, she's waking up, and her brain and her mind is sort of coming back together after being thrown apart by her addiction to drugs. Okay, so you can get Maggie 3 at Barnes & Noble, Amazon.com, and Borders. Okay. Second by second, the morning burned bright. The light hurt my eyes. I squinted. He pulled the blinds without my asking. He was a slow-moving gentleman, tired and yet strong. In total trust, he undid the ropes, and I just lay there, still in need of rest. I didn't move all day. We stayed there in that hotel room, he and I. He ordered food, juices, soups from a Chinese restaurant that he had grown familiar with while in New York. He got washcloths out of the bathroom and washed my face patiently, washed my neck, wiping away the sweat. He washed my hands, cooled me, soothed me, and comforted me. His princely kindness healed me. I inwardly gave him all the praise. I didn't say much. I lay on the bed. I slept some. I stared at him, not knowing who he was. I stared helplessly. He fed me, spoon-fed me. I drank some, his hands holding the cup in my thin, feeble hand. I was unbalanced a little in the beginning. I was weak. Around evening time, when the sun galloped down, I felt stronger and remembered Stanford. John Wilkerson, he said, introducing himself to me again for the second time in life, and I just stared at him speechless and stunned. He was a few years older from that day so long ago when I was only 18. He was just a few years older and even more devastatingly handsome. His old-fashioned style rimmed eyeglasses were on his nose now. His eyeglasses didn't scare me. He got the manager to bring me extra pillows, and I sat up in the bed more comfortably. How did he get here? How did I get here? Where did he come from? He stared out the window onto the New York streets, not looking at me. He just let me cry for such a long time. And then he came and walked over to me like a swan lion, holding my face in his manly hands with a firm grip of anger, glared at me forcefully, resolutely, violently, seriously, daring me. That wasn't you I saw on those streets in this hotel room these last few days. That wasn't you. I know you, and that wasn't you. And then he let me go. I surrendered to his behavior, overpowered by him. I asked no questions. By late evening, I remembered that I was in New York. I remembered more. I remembered meeting him at Stanford. I remembered Linda and our argument. I remembered telling him that I would always love him. I remembered being younger, still an innocent virgin, and thinking he could never like me. "What are you doing in New York?" I asked meekly.